It's time for the OSI Big Red Recruiting Special.
Hi there and welcome to the Omaha Sports Insider Husker Recruiting Special. I'm 3 News Now Sports Director Adam Kruger.
And I'm Ben Stevens, and we're joined tonight by Michael Severe. You can hear him every weekday from 10 to 2 on ESPN AM 590. He's the host of The Bottom Line. Michael, this class ended up ranked 21st by Rivals and 22nd by 24/7 Sports. How impressive is that considering what Frost had to do when he got here to be the head Husker in Lincoln?
It's really impressive. I wish I knew I was supposed to wear a coat, but it's really impressive.
I told you that a couple days ago.
I did not remember. It's really impressive mainly because of the lack of official visits they had left. I mean, they had half the number, and they come in and have to get guys in that they know want to be here, not just want to take a trip. That's big. And then they'll identify the cornerbacks or secondary they needed, wide receivers they need, and getting most of the guys that came on campus to actually commit. It was a huge accomplishment in my opinion.
We're going to quickly go through all of the signees of the 2018 class. Let's start with the big one, and you got yesterday, 4-star running back Maurice Washington. He was the MVP of the Under Armour All-American game. Somewhat maybe under the radar since he didn't play his junior year of high school. But man, Michael, people have raved about him quite a bit. What impresses you most about Maurice Washington?
I think his balance. He has great balance on the spin move. He reminds me a lot of Le'Veon Bell when he was at Michigan State. A little bit smaller than him, but he accelerates through the hole. Doesn't necessarily go to the house a lot on his runs, but he makes guys miss. He's got great balance, really good vision. And he's really talented. I think Adrian Martinez is the main guy in this class, but right behind him, I'd say Maurice Washington.
And we'll get to Adrian Martinez in just a little bit. But moving on from one running back to another, Myles Jones, another speedster, the Florida native, picking the Big Red over Vanderbilt. Michael, what stands out to you about Myles Jones?
I love Joystick Jr. I actually had him on the show today. And the thing about him is he doesn't necessarily have a ton of wiggle. He gets up the field quickly, catches the ball out of the backfield. He is the perfect guy for this system. If you look at what they had back in Central Florida, go back to DeAndre Thomas at Oregon, he does all of those things. Out of the backfield, slot receiver, can line up wide, does everything you possibly want in the system.
Joystick Jr., that's what we're going with.
I know, it's a great nickname.
It's his nickname.
Yeah. Another player out of the state of Florida, 4-star wideout Dominic Watt had interest from schools in the SEC, but picked the Huskers. Anything in particular stand out to you about Watt's film?
What I love about what they did was they got a guy for every scenario. Dominic Watt isn't necessarily a burner, but he goes up and gets it. If it's competition for the ball, he's going to high point it, he's going to catch it. He's also really good at blocking, and that's one of the things the staff says. You got to block the play, and he is an outstanding blocker.
The last recruit to sign the dotted line yesterday on National Signing Day for the Huskers, another wideout, this one hailing from California, Andre Hunt. How do you see Hunt fitting in Scott Frost's offensive scheme?
Let's not get too far ahead, but this is a New England Patriot player. He beats zones. He gets into spaces, he catches the ball, then he breaks tackles. All he does, he's run after catch guy. Not going to be a vertical guy, he's not going to go over the top, but he is a guy in zone, he's going to find a spot, catch the ball for you. He's a possession receiver.
All right, now moving to the other side of the ball, out of Syracuse, New York, a former lacrosse recruit for the Orange, defensive lineman Casey Rodgers, a big body, but can he contribute right away, in your opinion, Michael?
I think he's not going to contribute right away. I think he's actually going to have to take a year where he's going to get into the right size of where he needs to be. But remember, not just lacrosse, he also played hockey. And he's a guy that had a slap shot from both the left and right. This is a talented kid who is going to be a really good athlete for the team. I think he's a year away.
The Syracuse Orange lacrosse program, if I do say so myself, one of the top in the country as well.
Pretty good.
And it was a big day for defensive backs for Nebraska yesterday. One of the biggest signees was 4-star Cam Jones from Texas. What have you seen from Cam Jones on tape, Michael?
Let me just say, this guy's an NFL player. He's my favorite player in the class. He can hit. He's cocky but confident. He does everything you possibly could want. What they need more of in this program is dudes. He is a dude. When you write down his evaluation, you write, dude, future NFL player, he's going to be good.
All right, moving on to another 4-star defensive back in C.J. Smith. Smith had offers from nearly every major program, including Oklahoma and Bama. What is it about his game that makes it so impressive?
He's just a physical kid, and he's athletic. I think he could actually play some corner if he had to. They got a lot of hybrids or safeties in this class. They're really only one true corner. But I think C.J. Smith could play corner if he needed to.
And coming from Orlando, where, of course, Scott Frost used to be the head coach at Central Florida, 6'3" cornerback Braxton Clark, who did have an offer from UCF. Braxton, a tall cornerback, like you mentioned, Michael. How important do you think that is in Frost's new defensive scheme?
I think it's important because they try to get to after the passer. And if you're going to try to get it to after the passer, your corners are going to have to be able to play man, and they're going to have to be getting somebody's face. You're not going to play 10 yards off if the quarterback knows the blitz is coming and he's going to be able to get rid of it quick. So you got to play press. And at 6'3", closer to 200 pounds, according to his huddle film, he's going to be pretty good out there.
Now, the only offensive lineman assigned with the Huskers yesterday, Willie Canty from Belglade, Florida. Big frame, 6'6", 290. How much will Canty have to develop when he gets to Nebraska?
Well, that's what he is. He's a developmental prospect. But I think down the road, with his footwork, his size, the frame he has, I compared him to Jonathan Ogden. I know that his weight, this is a Hall of Fame kind of guy. But if you look at his footwork and his size, he could grow into that kind of player, and he can get great coaching from Greg Austin. I like him a lot.
The Big Red missed on 4-star outside linebacker Javonte Jean-Baptiste yesterday, who signed with Ohio State. But never fear, the Huskers signed another 4-star outside linebacker, Caleb Tanner, out of Georgia. Michael, do you see him being an impressive pass rusher at the collegiate level?
Two things about him. If they have any kind of like talent show, he'll probably win it. The guy is a true actor. He's great, but he's a good pass rusher, and he is bigger than he looks on film. If you look at him yesterday at his signing thing, that kid is legitimate size. I mean, big shoulders, you know, closer to 6'5". I like him a lot. I think he's another guy that probably needs a year. He'll play sparingly, but in terms of being an every down guy, I think he's a year away.
And the fourth and final defensive back to sign with Nebraska yesterday, Cam Taylor from Alabama. Taylor, a versatile athlete who also played quarterback. And as you can see here, you can see what he can do. But what do you see out of Taylor on the defensive side of the ball?
And that's what's interesting, because he said yesterday that if it came down to it, he could also play on offense and contribute. On defense, he's another guy who's physical. He really loves to hit. And again, very confident kind of guy. Was incredibly happy to get the offer to Nebraska and be able to come here. And that's the guy you want. You want guys who come here who want to be here, not just because they're looking to go to the next level and that's going to help them. He's a good-looking player. I think also, but I don't think he's going to play right away.
Up next on the OSI Big Red Recruiting Special, we take a look back at the rest of the 2018 class that signed on the dotted line back in December, including quarterback Adrian Martinez. Stay with us.